Today we take you to meet Professor Yang Meng-che, who shot an award-winning documentary about a Taiwanese prisoner of war. Yang tells the harrowing tale of a man who served in the Imperial Japanese Navy during World War II and was later imprisoned by the Soviets at a Siberian labor camp. FTV reporter Stephany Yang spoke to Yang to find out more.
不知道当时你的心情是怎么样？我们的给人也不一样。出发的当天是走路，都是走路。
One Day I Will Return Home follows the story of Taiwanese prisoner of war Lai Xing-yang. The documentary was directed by Taiwanese Professor Yang Meng-che. He was inspired to create the documentary after a Japanese academic told him that there were 7 Taiwanese prisoners of war in labor camps in Siberia during World War II.
I was shocked. I had never heard the story of Taiwanese being forced into labor camps in Siberia. I felt that I had a duty here. No other academics in Taiwan had ever conducted such research. I started to sort out the information when I came back, and through the guidance of an academic from Japan, I started to investigate veterans in Taiwan. A Japanese scholar named Kobayashi gave me some information, and then I traveled to Siberia to find the place where the labor camps for Japanese soldiers were.
Of the 7 prisoners of war, Lai Xing-yang was the only one still alive when Yang began his research. Lai was 91 years old and initially didn't want to be interviewed because it was too hard for him to revisit his wartime experience. But after Yang visited him several times, he agreed to return to Siberia to film the documentary. The documentary took 8 years to complete and was filmed in 7 countries.
不幸的，剩下只有唯一一位。
Unfortunately, there was only one prisoner of war left. His name is Lai Xing-yang, and he is of Hakka heritage. In 2015, I found him through my connections. It took me 5 years to find Lai Xing-yang. I found him, but he initially refused to be interviewed by us. He said, "Each time I talk about it, I experience psychological pain." He wasn't willing to be interviewed. Later, through the introduction of relatives and friends, I formally visited him again. I spoke to him in his native language, Japanese. It touched his heart. In 2018, we went to Siberia. He was 94 years old. He carried an oxygen tank and 2 photos of his dead son. The entire journey was full of difficulties.
The film received several international awards, including at the 5 Continents International Film Festival in Venezuela, the Chicago International Film Festival, and the Tokyo International Short Film Festival. Aside from creating the film, Yang also wrote a book about Lai's life.
希望将这个历史留下来。
I hope to preserve this history. I made this documentary not to win an award, but because I had a duty as a Taiwanese, as an academic, and as someone in a profession in East Asian history. Since I was given this task, I had to complete it. 3 days before he passed away at the age of 96, he watched his unfinished documentary on his mobile phone. He took a deep breath with the tubes in his mouth and nose. It was very touching. So we must preserve this piece of history.
The documentary will be released in Taipei in October. Yang hopes that through the film and book, Lai's story will be preserved for generations to come. FTV reporter Stephany Yang and Dai Yalun in Taipei.